I just woke up, but I made a coffee. Try to make myself a little bit more presentable. So yesterday, after much deliberation, 5 days, the province has revisited its book ban. I'm gonna call it a book ban because it's a fucking book ban. You remember their book ban, where they had all these different charts and ages and school grades of what could and couldn't be in libraries and who had access to what. And then the Edmonton Public School Board, following the direction of the ministerial fucking order, showed all the books that were going to be taken off the shelves. Oh, no, that's not what we meant. And so they revisited it hastily, just like their original order. Now we just ban explicit images of sexual acts. What is an explicit sexual act? Look, again, I need to make it really clear. Hold on, I need coffee for this one. Nobody wants pornography in schools. However, the definition of that, I guess, is dependent on your viewpoint. Oh no, I'm showing too much shoulder. Wouldn't want to offend anybody. So because of the backlash, the new order removes written passages and now adds visual depiction. The ministerial order reads, visual depiction means a visual or graphic representation, such as a drawing or painting, an illustration, a photographic or digital image, or a video file. Books containing graphics of bodies for a non-sexual purpose, such as an anatomy book, are exempt. This government really thinks kids are dumb, don't they? Because you can read about it, you just can't look at it. Because we all know when you're reading about it, you're not visualizing the words. I'm convinced this government doesn't read. All of this to say, it's still a garbage order. It's an order that was made to appease certain groups that really target a demographic that they don't agree with. Because that's really the gist of all of this. They've now taken out any of the grade levels, ages, whatever the fuck they put in their first order. So nothing, regardless of age, regardless of grade, can be in the schools. Oh, kids can bring them from home though. Yep. You could bring a graphic novel that depicts sexual activity, offensive to some, to school. Leave it on the bus, pass it around to all your friends at lunch. Do you see how ridiculous the order is? It doesn't actually do anything. It is a big deal, a fiasco, if you will, that creates outrage for nothing. And again, I don't know if this government doesn't realize. Kids can look up stuff on their phones. I'm curious if art books are going to be allowed. I mean, they say things like encyclopedias are okay. They really think that kids can't think beyond what's just right in front of them, right? I'm sure Nicolaides at some point flipped through his parents' Sears catalog, stayed a little too long in the lingerie section. Because kids have a curiosity. It's not a bad thing. It can teach them what is right. No, not what is right. It can teach them their own boundaries, what is right for them. It can also help educate them on what might be wrong for them. I'm going to give you a harsh example. If a child has grown up in a home in an abusive situation, and that is all this child has known their entire life, perhaps education outside of the home in some capacity, like some of these explicit novels that they're trying to get rid of, might actually teach kids, no, that's not okay. But people like Actions for Canada and Parents for Choice, which is really no choice, they don't want kids learning anything about that. It really makes you wonder, because a lot of abuse happening in homes is done at the hands of the same people reflected in those groups. Just saying. But don't you worry, teachers aren't going to have to make a list, not like the Edmonton Public School Board did with their vicious compliance. No, they don't have to make lists at all. They can just take pictures of the books they have so that parents can take a look at it and say if they approve or not. I don't know what that means. It's the teacher's classroom. They can put whatever they want in their classroom. Anyway, to summarize, bullshit ministerial order to start, bullshit ministerial order to finish. None of this does anything except really raise the curiosity of kids. Can you imagine? With all the talk and empty shelves and news articles, kids that probably didn't give a fuck because they're curious minds. Just saying. So now that the government has wasted all this time and energy creating a bullshit ministerial order, how about you put some of that energy to getting back to the table so teachers can get a deal? And please stop blaming the ATA and teachers, because a lot of us know how bargaining works. It's not just up to one side to come back to the table. It's up to the other side to recognize that their offer was already voted on and make changes to said offer to get teachers back to the table. That's on you, Nikki. Stop blaming teachers for wanting to be valued. I guarantee that Sears catalog was sticky. Sticky Nikki.